Today on episode 146 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, our Week 1 NFL Recap, new segment Power Rankings of PE Games, the NFL Week 2 Pick Show, and of course, the TCF Top 3 this week is NFL Helmets. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back. This is episode 146 of Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. You can find us on Twitter at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook and Instagram, type us in, give those pages a like as well. Go on over to YouTube to check all of our content out in video form. Make sure you subscribe there wherever you get your podcast. We are there as well. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts. We are there. If you can leave a review or a 5-star rating on whichever one you use, that would be lovely. Make sure to join me in following the guys that I am joined with tonight. That is Zach, of course, at ZLilia TCF. And joining us here shortly will be Maddie, and he is at schools_01. Zach, we just got done talking about the weather, man. We're kind of in that weird in-between stage where it was like, high 60s, low 70s all week. We had some crazy rain, and then you said it's supposed to be hot again. It's just that up and down and up and down, and I don't really know how to feel about it.
I love this time of year because wait. We have right after he says it, he joined.
And there he is. Make sure you follow him.
Maddie in the building. But yeah, the weather has been weird and it's supposed to get hot again. I don't know how to feel about it, but I could go for more nights like this because I went out golfing about 6:10, 6:20, and it was absolutely beautiful. I could have used a sweatshirt. This time of year is the best time of year, I'd say.
Yeah, I can't complain, man. It's one of those where, the up and down isn't fun, but, I love, shorts and a hoodie weather, and this is just perfect for it. So, cannot complain. Maddie, how you holding up in this weather, man?
Just great. Life's awesome. Weather's beautiful. I love today. Today's great. I'm just happy to be here.
There you have it, folks.
That's all I got. That's all I got for you right now. My sinker is me. So just when we get there.
Well, perfect timing because it is time for Sinkers and Floaters. Maddie, that was a perfect segment. Why don't you just go ahead and get us started here?
Well, this is one of those days. It's just a combination of errors. Had a little doctor's appointment.
Wait, Maddie. I don't mean to be a bearer of your bad news, but you kind of sound like you're like a megaphone.
All right, I'm gonna jump out. I'll be back in a few minutes. We'll go. You guys can skip my sinker. Let's just start there.
Well, as you guys can see, Maddie is now no longer in the show. He will be back, but it's pretty clear to see that Maddie's sinker is Maddie. It's been a rough day at the old school's household, so we're just going to go ahead and give Maddie his sinker, and that is Maddie. Zach, my sinker, on the other hand, is completely different here from Maddie's problems, and that is the Phoenix Suns owner, Robert Sarver. He has been suspended a full year, fined $10 million after an investigation finds conduct clearly violated workplace standards. Apparently, he was caught using the N-word at least 5 times when recounting the statements of others. He was found sending inappropriate videos to male coworkers and saying inappropriate things to female coworkers. Just not a good story. Very much remindful of the Donald was forced to sell the team. And then this guy suspended a year, $10. Obviously, $10 million sounds like a lot, but to a guy that owns a professional basketball team, it's probably a significant amount, but not the amount that we think it is. But this guy sounds like a scumbag, so I can't wait for opposing fans to, give him the business when they're, cheering against the Suns. So screw Robert Sarver. This guy sucks.
Yeah, it's not good. How does he keep a job? I guess he owns the team. I guess you have to make him sell the team per se, but you would have to think that you wouldn't want him back.
Yeah, I guess it's like you said, it's just because he's the owner. And I know we talked about Donald Sterling and the NBA forced him to sell. That was a little, different in the fact that he was like talking about players directly, and using, the terms that he did, where this guy was using it. I don't know. I'm not trying to justify it. I think this guy's a scumbag. I think he should have to sell his team. But I'll be honest, I'm interested to hear what the NBA thinks the biggest difference is between, this whole Phoenix Suns situation and the Donald Sterling episode, situation where he was forced to sell the team. So not a good look for the Phoenix Suns at all. And Robert Sarver, scumbag of the week, I guess, here.
Yeah, not good at all. But before we go into my sinker, we'll bring Maddie back here because
I got to ask, though, on Sarver, I was listening backstage, hearing everything that was going on. I've got to hear, though, what good does forcing the guy to liquidate and sell and get $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion of flush cash delivered to his doorstep do to punish him too? So there is that side of it. So the public shame is almost the best you can do at this point.
Yeah, like make his when he's traveling with the team and people see him and being able to like you said, not
it makes it harder for
billion.
free agents to maybe commit there, or certain people to come work there, or things like that. If you have to be put on blast for stuff like this, because giving him a check or a wire of $4 billion after forcing him to sell the team is darned.
Yeah,
I mean, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it says right here, Forbes said that they're worth $1.8 billion. So obviously, in a sale, it'd be well over $2 billion. So you're just gifting this guy $2 billion.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, let's assess the penalty before we just react.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, Maddie. All right, Zach, we've got. We obviously told everybody Matt's sinker is himself. We got mine with the Phoenix Suns. What is your sinker this week?
I have two sinkers, boys. First one, Mike Martz. I don't know what this guy is talking about. Maybe he's talking about the wrong quarterback here, but he went in on Justin Fields. I don't know if he just hates Justin Fields. I don't understand what he was thinking. He was like, I don't know if it could get any worse than this. First of all, what am I supposed to give a rat's ass what Mike Martz has to say about anything? He traded Greg Olsen because he thought, oh, we don't need this guy anymore. We're going to go on.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? We needed Greg Olsen still. But first off, Mike Martz, stop talking about Justin Fields. Justin Fields, he played well. 8 passes completed. I understand that. It was a monsoon. He just annoys me. I don't know. He has this thing that he does I don't know if it's every week or whatever. It's like almost like a podcast where he just goes off on teams. He hates Justin Fields. Don't understand that.
Well, he's just a sourpuss because of the way things went in Chicago. They didn't go good at all. I mean, he's still got bad blood
because he was no good.
Yeah.
My second sinker is Brett Favre. I don't know if you've seen this in the news yet, but Brett Favre, there's text showing that him and the Governor Bryant and others worked to channel at least $5 million of the state's welfare funds to build a new volleyball stadium at the University of is it Southern Mississippi?
Yeah.
For some reason, Brett Favre's daughter plays that sport. This does not look good.
No.
You can't be taking welfare, especially from a state like Mississippi where it has to be pretty low in the first place.
Very low income.
Yeah, so my sinker is Brett Favre. That's just a bad look.
Does that get any scummier than stuff like that? I mean, money that's taxpayer money that tended to help struggling human beings.
It's no good. It's no good at all.
Funnel it to a women's college volleyball program.
For a guy who made plenty of money, still makes plenty of money. You see him in plenty of commercials.
How about those copper sleeves, man? I thought those would make by now.
That's fair. Yeah, you can't do what I mean, and he's not done himself any favors in the last 5 years with all of. I mean, he's been in the news for this, and now there's text messages, and a guy who made a lot of his career being the country guy from the back Mississippi and now it comes out and he's just being a scumbag to people there. Like, come on, man, what are you doing? Mississippi ranks out of 50 states. Mississippi ranks number 50 in median income, median in household income. And you're going to take.
I that's what I thought. I'd seen something like that. It was like, this is the lowest state, and you're going to do something like that if you're you were a professional athlete.
Yeah, you are. That's the word. I mean, he's lived, or he was from Mississippi. He knows Mississippi his whole life. He knows that things aren't easy there, and he's taken away from the people that need it the most. Like, how about, like you said, spending some of your own, some of that Copperfit money, or all the money you made playing football instead of being a scumbag to people who needed it.
Very true.
Absolutely sucks. What can't be doing that. I hope. And the problem is, I think a lot of it, you think of it, it's like nothing's going to happen from this. Like he's going to pay his way out of it.
White collar crime. It's a white collar crime. He's going to get away with it. He's probably not going to go to jail or anything over it, but it's a bad look, if anything.
Yep, very bad. Let's move into the floaters. My floater is Michael Hermosillo. We've talked about him a lot on this show. Kind of a local guy around here. Grew up, 20 minutes from where me and Zach live. He is back in with the Cubs. The Cubs picked up a big win tonight at the Mets. Hermosillo entered the game as a pinch hitter in the fourth inning, laid down a sacrifice bunt, stayed in and played center field. Had a strikeout and grounded to third, but other than that, at least he's back. I looked it up. I believe he's played 32 or 33 games this year. One of those young guys that, we kind of hopes, stays healthy and is around. And, the guy only played a month essentially, back when he was pulled up or when he was healthy, and then didn't really get the opportunity. We talked about it quite a bit. Hayward was still seeing time, and, now he's back. So hopefully, fingers crossed, best for the local kid, Michael Hermosillo. So good to see him back in the Cubbies lineup.
Yeah, it's good to see the Cubbies looking good too. So
yeah,
it's fun to see players like that who are young guys out there, especially with what he's been through. He's been through some injuries, and he's back playing. Played with Iowa for a few games. Now he's back with the Cubs to end the season. Like I said, hopefully he can end the season on a high note and go into spring training and next year be a key player for this team.
It would be nice to see.
My floater is the fall weather. I know we're going to lose it this weekend. It's supposed to be hot out, but I absolutely love fall weather. If I could put a sweatshirt on, if you can have sweatshirt with some like basketball shorts on, even if you got to put some sweatpants on, I love fall weather. I just despise the heat. Not a fan of it. But this fall weather, we're getting it for a few days here. I know we're going to lose it over the weekend, but I could go with that forever.
Yeah, we've been very upfront and honest on this show. We're not really summer built gentlemen. So this is a perfect time for guys built like us. Can't beat it. I'm not complaining one bit.
Maddie, do you have a floater? Hopefully.
Do I have a floater? Yeah, my floater was Nate Diaz.
Yes.
Week's floater about the UFC card. The three final events all flipped from when we talked on
insane
Wednesday night. Friday morning, Chimaev missed weight by 8 pounds. Everybody knows what happens from there. Fights all got jumbled. Chimaev ended up fighting Kevin Holland. He ragdolled him for 2 minutes and just submitted him. It was absolutely.
He didn't get hit one time.
It was disturbing how quickly he dispatched of him. That was impressive as hell. Overweight, missed weight or not, I'm never gonna miss Chimaev fight. I think he's the most entertaining fighter from a pure just skill perspective.
Can I ask you a question though, Maddie? I know you like UFC. Do you think he should have been allowed to fight? He was 7 pounds overweight. You think that he should
clearly on purpose?
Only because he fought at a weight with Holland that they were within a half pound of each other.
Well, I understand, but you know that the skill set wasn't the same there.
No. Holland's good. Holland's like a.
He's good, but he's
not.
Holland's
been knocking on that door as one of the guys that you know,
I just
potentially.
think if you're
top
gonna
10.
go that much overweight, you should be almost punished in a way.
He's punished in terms of what it's doing to his
Well, yeah, he didn't make close to as much money as he was going
fandom
to.
has flipped on him heavily now. All of a sudden, he's gone from everybody was wanting to watch him to now everybody's wanting to root against him. It'll be
But he
interesting.
loves that.
If
He
they line
loves
him
that.
Covington up, it'll be interesting because who the crowd will dislike more at that point.
But Maddie, with you talking about Nate Diaz, do you think he's gonna? Who do you think he's gonna fight in boxing?
I think, well, it depends because if Anderson Silva beats Jake Paul, then what is Nate Diaz? Why would he fight Jake Paul then? What good does that do?
Money.
I don't even know if he'll get it though, because it's not like Jake
That's
Paul has
true.
a whole lot of. It's not.
Yeah,
like
once he loses, he wants him to win that fight.
Yeah, for sure. Because then it brings even more credibility to Jake Paul's record, setting up that big payday between him and Diaz. Diaz can then go back to the UFC, fight McGregor, and make even fucking more money. So, you know, the sky's the limit. Nate Diaz, though, like everything turned for him because he was about to get whatever happened to Kevin Holland was going to be way worse to him, if that fight went through. So him getting to fight Tony Ferguson, who's obviously at the end of his career at this point, it looks like. You know, Diaz looked great in the fourth round there when he got the finish, but
the cut that Tony Ferguson had on his leg was
nasty.
disgusting.
Oh, that was nasty.
I've never seen a cut like that on somebody's leg. It looked like something that would usually happen above like an eye, like a split.
It wasn't even bleeding.
His leg split.
It was literally just oozing out. Like it was just oozing out. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It was so gross.
And after the match, he's all hugging Diaz, like, "Oh, we a great match." I'm like, I would be in the hospital as quick as could be
in tears.
These guys have a different pain tolerance.
You can't feel anything at that point.
But I would say for anyone who doesn't, I don't know if you don't like UFC, if you ever watched it, I would say give it a chance because me and Boomy we've talked about it before over quarantine. We watched some UFC, and now we get every once in a while we get the cards that are good. I think that like a main event in a UFC, the way they announce it, the way like it all comes together, it gives you chills.
It's just fun, dude. You know, we've made this, you know, saying before, but I mean, it's human cockfighting, and it's exhilarating. And like you said, Zach, the announcing, I mean, the crew, you know, Cormier and Rogan, like they just make it fun. It's a good time. I would highly recommend everybody just try it once. Do the one where they do like a free one, you know, the ones that you watch the prelims or something.
Like or like Tuesday nights, like I think it was tonight. They had the Dana White what's it called? The Contender Series. That's fun to watch. It's free on ESPN Plus. It's awesome. It's fun to watch. Yeah, they're guys who are going to be superstars. Main event's
going to be awesome. This Saturday's main event's going to be awesome. It's Corey Sandhagen against that Song Yadong, the young Chinese prospect who's like 22, has thunder in his hands. So it should be a banger of a fight. So that one's on ESPN Plus. So that's nothing, no pay-per-view or anything for that. So, and like you guys were talking about Cormier and Joe Rogan. Dude, John Anik, from a play-by-play perspective,
yes,
is as good at his sport as about anybody in sports.
Yeah, period. Because he kind of brings it all together.
He's phenomenal at his job, and you can tell he's well-researched. He knows these fighters inside and out, and he does such a phenomenal job on the mic.
I love the post. I love the post interviews. Those are always the best.
Oh yeah.
Because you can just get, absolutely. You get guys who just did something insane, knock somebody out, won a fight, and then they have to just compose themselves and do an interview.
Or in Chewbacca's case, don't compose yourself and just say you're gonna fucking kill everybody.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I watched the official weigh-in, which was the second weigh-in afterwards, where they knew the fights. Yeah, they knew the fights. He comes out and he was just ready to go nuts. He's saying F the crowd. And really and truthfully, if you're Dana White, you go, give me more of this.
Oh, for sure. You need heels.
More of this, please.
Heels run the world in combat sports.
You didn't see Dana White say one thing about, I know we're talking a little too much about UFC, but you didn't see Dana White say one thing about him missing weight because guess what? He loved the heel that it turned him into.
Or starting the fight post behind the
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't help when Diaz is bringing 50 guys and Shamaz has got 38 guys, and it's like these people have too many people in their crew.
It's a thing of beauty, boys. That is for sure. Check out the UFC this weekend. But let's jump into it. We got the TCF Sports Minute. We'll start off here quickly. Cubs 60-82 picked up. That's kind of the thing right now. They're like 25 out, but they're kind of just playing heartbreaker right now, and they're giving the Mets all they can handle this week, and it's just
hey, you gotta love
kind of in that
seeing
spot where
beating DeGrom. They beat DeGrom. Well, while we're saying this, obvious shirt said the Cubs beat DeGrom. There's going to be a sale. So as this comes out, there will be an obvious shirt sale today because the Chicago Cubs beat the Chicago Mets, the New York Mets, and DeGrom. But I love to see it. Ian Happ played home run, scored a run. Ian Happ, I don't know, this guy, he is just playing so well. If the Cubs don't re-sign him this offseason to an extension, I don't know what they are doing because
it's a guy playing for a contract, and he's doing it exactly the right way. I mean,
this guy, you let him play one more year of his contract, and then he plays even better next year. You're screwed.
Yeah.
You're gonna either pay up or you're gonna lose him.
Yeah. And then I think we talked last week about the kid who got called up from I think it was the Yankees trade, maybe, and pitched really well. I mean, it's just fun to watch right now. I shouldn't even say.
If you tune into a Cubs game, you're going to probably see a starting pitcher you have never seen before or a relief pitcher that you've never seen before. And you know what? It's exciting because they're playing well. They're playing very well. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. They're like I said, they're playing spoiler right now, and then they're making lives pretty hard for some of these teams that had something to play for.
I absolutely love Frank the Tank. He's the best. But you're gonna sit here and tell me this team deserves to be in the playoffs? They are just ruining their chances.
Mm-hmm.
I understand they're probably gonna win 100 games, maybe, and I know the Braves are playing super well. But what are we doing here? We have DeGrom on the mound, and that's what he's going to do?
Yeah, he's going to go and lose to the 60-80 Cubs.
Ian Happ took him upper deck tonight. I love to see it.
Arguably the best pitcher in Major League Baseball. On the other side of town, the White Sox 73-69. Still no Tony La Russa. Probably looks like he's not going to be around the rest of the year.
No, not too soon here, Boomy. What I've seen is he's around. He's in the press box or in Jerry's box.
He's not going to be managing.
Yeah, for the 2 games. I understand that. But they have said if he checks out, he's back. Because people go, why would you bring him back?
Yeah.
I understand people don't want him to be back, but guess what? He's the manager of this team. If he's healthy and he wants to come back, I don't think you can just tell him not to come back. I think you should be able to, and I think you should tell him not to. I'm not saying that they should bring him back, but what I'm saying is if he's healthy, I'm telling you guys, he will be back in that dugout. Not healthy.
I just don't think
he's healthy at all, but
I don't think he wants. I think this is all a dog and pony show. I don't think he really wants to come back. He knows that this is it.
I think that you're wrong. I don't think he thinks that at all. I think the fans don't want him to come back because they understand that they've been playing better. But in his head, I think he knows he's the manager, and if he wants to manage, he wants to do it.
I would love to see the Sox
But if what you said is true, then why would he have done any of this at all through the whole season?
I see where you're coming from, but
I'm not saying he should be the manager. What I'm saying
at least this way he goes out looking graceful and hey, I tried, but now if he comes back and even if they're at 3 games out and he comes back and they finish 6 games out, that's going to leave a bad taste. This is a Hall of Fame manager.
If he would have thought that, he would have never taken the job.
But when he took the job, I mean, it was to me, it was fairly obvious. Like, it was one of the best young
what I'm
rising
saying is,
teams. It's
I
a different
understand that, but
circumstance now than it was
you're a
2
Hall
years
of Fame coach. You get a Hall of Fame coach. You win another World Series. Not that big a deal in your resume if you really think about it. You're already in the Hall of Fame. You've won World Series. And you've won it with a team who was already good before you got there. What I'm saying is, I think he just wants to manage.
We'll see. We'll see.
Maddie, I want your
know.
thoughts. I see Maddie grinning over there.
I hope he comes back so bad.
I do too. And I'm just saying this because I think that he wants to manage his team and he wants to go to the playoffs, even though
I think it'll turn into the most awkward, uncomfortable clubhouse in the world. Like that, just no one wants him back.
Especially because they're having fun with this new coach.
Like, well,
you can tell that these players like the new coach.
Is fun.
Yeah.
Winning games is awesome.
And then all of a sudden he's just going to come back in the locker room because he's the manager of the team, unfortunately. Yeah. Isn't that wild though? Like they're like, oh, don't come back, be healthy. It's like, well,
he's a man without a country right now.
Yeah.
Who I don't think he really like the outside noise. I don't think gets to him. I don't think Tony La Russa is on Twitter at night looking up his name.
Like he physically can't hear the outside noise.
Yeah,
he doesn't know how to get. He doesn't know how to get to the outside noise.
It doesn't get it just doesn't get into his ears anymore because he's old.
Yeah, we'll see.
He goes home. He has a scotch and he goes to bed.
Yeah.
Or never mind. I'll keep that joke to myself.
I bet he's a Matlock watcher.
Magnum PI. I can see him watching Magnum PI.
Hey, there's no need for any Magnum PI slander here, all right?
No, I love Magnum PI. I love Magnum PI, but I'm just saying that I just feel like he watches Magnum PI. My dad watches.
I feel like Magnum PI came out when Tony La Russa was 47 years old. There's no way he watched Magnum PI.
He's a MacGyver. He's a MacGyver.
My father has like the first 3 seasons of Magnum.
Yeah, my dad does too.
La Russa's watching old MacGyver episodes on YouTube somewhere.
Absolutely. Well, the 3 games out right now. Right around 20 games left to play, so we'll see what happens. Quick college football. Been some chaos lately. You got to love it. Top 5: Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Michigan, and Clemson. Bama probably. I mean, you feel like if Clint Ewers doesn't get hurt, Bama's not a top 5 team right now because they probably.
Sorry about your Notre Dame. Sorry about your Notre Dame. You lost to Marshall. We are Marshall and Texas A&M losing to Appalachian State. I absolutely love to see it.
Yeah, Jimbo Fisher, after buying his whole recruiting class, all that saga, and then they lose to Appalachian. And I'm not. This isn't to take away anything from like Marshall, and obviously we've had Bobby on here, who's the biggest Sun Belt, fan that we know.
Who know Appalachian State? I wouldn't schedule them if I were you.
Yeah,
they're good.
Seriously. I mean, and then I think Georgia Southern ended Scott Frost's career. I mean, that conference, I would stay away from.
Lafayette's
the Sun Belt.
Been good. Coastal's been good. Like, I mean, they've had really good teams there for years. It's good football.
I think Scott Frost ended Scott Frost's own season.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Just gotta love the chaos going on in college. That is college football. In the state of Illinois, no teams that are big Division I schools left undefeated. Illinois sitting at 2-1, Northwestern at 1-1, NIU 1-1, ISU 1-1, and then the directional schools Eastern and Western both sitting at 0-2. I believe Southern Illinois is 1-1. They were in the top 25. I know we talked about them quite a bit last year. They were a top 25 team last year. They are 0-2. They have lost to Incarnate Word and Southeast Missouri. So kind of hitting the skids. And this weekend they travel up to Evanston to take on Northwestern. So, but who knows? A big in-state rivalry taking down the FBS school could mean something there, but a lot going on in college football. I'm going to let you guys have at this little Bears recap. They're 1-0, whatever. We'll see you Sunday. What'd you guys think of the game?
What I thought about the game was I thought it was awesome because this is a game that I hate to bring him up, Matt Nagy, he loses this game. This is a game where it was a monsoon. It rained. It was crazy. But guess what? They stayed in the game. They never got away from it. The defense stayed in it. I understand 8 completed passes, but guess what? Justin Fields made the most crucial passes in that game. He had some that looked awesome. Unfortunately, we had 2 missed PATs, which was tough to see there, but it was unreal. We also got the most Bears penalty flag of all time when they tried to. I think they actually just tried to flatten the ground. I don't think they really thought that they could soak up all the water, but they got a
Player
penalty
safety,
for having
though. Player safety.
Yeah, whatever. But you know what? I'm happy with the start. 1-0. It's been a while since we started 1-0. And we're going to Green Bay against a team that looked a little rough against the Vikings. But we'll have to
you
see.
don't have to be nice. They looked like hot garbage.
Unfortunately, though, it's Sunday Night Football, which is just never a good thing for the Bears. But hey, it'll be fun. A little breaking news here. Me and Boomy will be doing a Facebook Live, maybe YouTube Live. We'll try and get it out to whatever. About 6:00 before the game on Sunday. We'll lead up to the game, and then we'll have a halftime show. Maybe we'll have Maddie jump in real quick if he can. We'll try and get some other guys in there and talk about the Bears-Packers game that will be Sunday night football. But at 6:00 Sunday night Central Time, I guess.
You might get Owens' take too. Who knows?
Hey, hopefully he picks the Bears. But we will be doing
if he wants dinner,
Facebook Live. Facebook Live, Sunday night, 6:00. Me and Boomy. Hopefully some guests. We'll have some comments. We'll have hopefully the people letting us know that the Bears will win. But they are 1-0 for now, and it's Packers week, so I'm excited.
So, do you guys take a ton of positives out of this, or you just say, hey, it's a win? We know it wasn't ideal. There was a lot of things that, didn't go well.
Hey, it's a win. It's a win that could have been a loss. It's a win that could have been a loss. You know what I mean?
They won outright a team. They were a 7-point underdog, too. Fuck yeah, it's a big win. It's a big win.
At home.
They were in the NFC title game last year. The Bears were a team that was supposed to be the worst team in the league possibly this year. That's a big win. That's a statement win right off the get-go. Hell yeah, it's a big win.
I'm pumped. The same way. You're 7-point underdogs at home. Everyone wrote you off at the beginning of the season. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs, but everyone was like, "Oh, this is going to be the worst team in the league." I know you touched on it
earlier, though, Zach. But what Mike Martz said about fucking Fields. What did you watch in the second half?
Yeah.
I mean, he carried that team. He carried that offense in the middle of a fucking monsoon. What did you want?
He might have a few bad passes, but
you know what? He was not good. He wasn't good in the first half. He was much, much better in really shitty conditions in the second half. Give me a break. Let's see what happens this week. If he looks like shit, then fine. But if he plays more like he did in the second half, I'm ready, dude. That kid's he has the leadership skills that you want to see.
And you got to love the run and dive at the end of the game. That was pretty cool. I'll give you guys
such a cool picture. Such a cool hey.
That's posters. That's to be posters for kids down the road. Hopefully that are big Bears fans.
Get on my back and let's go. That's just let's do this.
We're having some fun. So and you know what? Ryan Poles is out there hugging Eberflus right after the game in the downpour. He's soaked in his suit. You know what? It just seems like there's the right direction.
You know what I like, though, as much as anything, and then we can get off this, but is the second half adjustments. And they just something you never see from Bears coaching staffs of the past. And there was a total shift in that game plan. They shut down defensively. They shut down San Francisco completely in the second half. And they found a way to move the ball in really shitty conditions in the second half. What more do you want?
That is fair enough. It'll be a big one this week. Let's see what happens Sunday night. Like Zach said, we'll be live on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you tune in 6 p.m. Central Time. Before we move on, we have to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee, the best coffee around that you can possibly purchase. They work with our guy Dom Frederick and Ian Happ, and you see what Ian Happ's doing on the baseball field, so you know it's good quality stuff. Make sure to check out their website, connectroasters.com. Follow them on Twitter at connectroasters. Make sure you check out their products also at the Obvious Shirt Store right by Wrigley Field before the season ends. So make sure you check them out. Connect Roasters Coffee, connectroasters.com. Go get you some delicious, incredible coffee. Well, before we get into week 2, let's recap week 1. Started on Thursday night. The Bills, I don't know about you guys, Bills look like the best team in the NFL. We'll hit a lot of games here, but not all of them. What do you guys say? Bills looking really good there week 1.
Bills look good. Matthew Stafford, hopefully he's getting it better, but it looked like that injury from the offseason kind of caught up to him, not playing in the preseason. But I think the Rams team has they'll be all right. But this Bills team is something to be watched out for, I think.
Matty, you got anything? Bills just trouncing the Rams. You got anything? We all were pretty high on the Rams.
Nothing more than you guys had to add. I mean, Bills look great. That's about all I can say.
Some teams I thought that looked so maybe a little, not surprisingly, but looked pretty good from my perspective. The Dolphins, pretty convincing win over the Patriots. Ravens blow the Jets out as to be expected. The Vikings, I mean, we talked about how bad the Packers looked, 23-7. I mean, just embarrassing. Chiefs putting up 44 on the Cardinals. The Buccaneers kind of picking up. I don't know if it's as much as those teams look good to me as the teams they played did not look good. Cowboys looked terrible. Cardinals did not look good. The Packers look bad. The Jets look bad. The Patriots look bad. I mean, any of those teams that I just said, that week one that you kind of expect to see, a brighter 2022 season out of.
So a team that lost week 1?
No, a team that won that you were like, oh, maybe this team is for real.
Well, the Bears won.
Well, yeah, we already talked about that. Because I think the Ravens might be legit.
The Bucks were always going to be good. You got Tom Brady.
Well,
you're going to be good.
The Ravens and the Bucks, I would say they were probably already contenders anyway.
And the Chiefs, obviously.
The Saints were a very surprising game where they fought back and won.
I thought the way the Giants played, the way they clawed back and got back in.
Saquon is going to be something this year.
Brian
if he can stay healthy, he's
won that
amazing.
Locker room over, it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
What I would have to say is the team I'm most looking forward to is the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I expected that to come. One of the teams that we were all kind of high on, the Eagles struggled late with the Lions, and I think Pardon My Take said it best. That I know, but they said it best in the fact that the Lions are just good enough to get beat by anybody in the league by 3 points. That's a perfect way to describe.
I would say the Bengals
Lions
were pretty disappointing because I won that game, but Joe Burrow not playing well.
Terrible.
Unfortunately for the Steelers, they won the game, but Najee Harris, I don't know what his status is. He got hurt. TJ Watt, fortunately for them, is only out 6 weeks, I think.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a season.
That's crazy.
I'm skeptical.
And Mitch Trubisky is still Mitch Trubisky, unfortunately for them. I love him to death.
Mitch did
I love him.
Things.
I love him to death. I think if I hung out with Mitch Trubisky, we'd be best buddies. But quarterback-wise, I just don't see him being able to lead a team into the playoffs and beyond.
And you know what? I mean, obviously there was a couple games, but what I'm seeing here in the scores, guys, a lot of unders. I mean, we had the Eagles-Lions 38-35. Outside of that,
you saw a lot of teams that didn't play their full teams in the playoffs. The preseason, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The preseason.
For sure.
just look at the Packers. I understand he's Aaron
Yep.
Rodgers, but he goes straight into the season, and he kind of looks like that. I mean, it has nothing to do. I mean, I think a lot of it. I'm sorry to say, Boomy, and I know you're going to agree with me. The wide receivers just are not there.
Yeah,
they're just not there.
Well, that's the thing. The wide receiver crew for the Packers is at a different stage of their career as the quarterback, and it's very obvious.
They have rookie wide receivers with a veteran quarterback who wants to win right now.
Yeah, and it was not known as the most patient guy in the world that is, going to take his time. No. And, it's one of those. I mean, I personally think that they're going to be okay. This happened the exact same thing last year. They went down. Remember, they had to play New Orleans in Florida and got trounced. They got beat like 38-3 and still end up winning the division.
Boomy, I know. I'm just going to say this. They don't have Devontae Adams this time.
I still think they're going to be all right.
I'm just saying he is one of the top 2-3 wide receivers in the league. You got to know losing him is humongous.
Yeah, I mean, and also like their technical one is Allen Lazard, who didn't play, and they, missing 2 starting linemen. I still think they're going to be all right.
Coming from a team that has Darnell Mooney as their one, if Allen Lazard's your one.
Oh, no, I'm not disagreeing, but it's a big difference with Aaron Rodgers throwing it to Allen Lazard than some other people. But we'll see. We kind of all saw this coming from Green Bay, but Bill, like you said, it's a big opportunity for a bounce back win. But some of the bigger
big opportunity for the Bears too.
Yeah, well, we're gonna find out on Sunday.
I cannot wait. This is an exciting game. This is fun. It went from a game.
I'll keep telling you this is fun when we're up 21 in the second quarter.
Dude, shut up. Can I finish my sentence?
Go ahead.
It was one of those games where at the beginning of the year, you're like, I don't want to play this game. Then you go 1-0 squad. Love to be the 1-0 team, undefeated. Going into Sunday Night Football, it could be crazy. Who knows? Is that stupid haircut of Aaron Rodgers?
What do you mean? He looks like Arthur Shelby. That was a great look.
I don't know what he thinks he is.
Let's go ahead. Some of the ones that really disappointed this week, the Broncos obviously losing on Monday night in just dumb fashion. Nathaniel Hackett. I mean, what are you doing, dude?
Okay. Geno Smith, let's pump the brakes here, bud.
Yeah.
Like what was it? The haters wrote him and he never wrote back or something. Dude, let's chill out there. The Broncos did not look good. They fumbled the ball twice on the goal line. And we're going to make it seem like you just won the Super Bowl, bud.
Yeah, that was an ugly game, too.
Geno Smith is like 12 games like below 500 as a starter.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to give him a little bit of a curve. He did get drafted by the Jets.
I understand that, but he got punched in the face by his own teammate.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Unfortunately, Matty has had some technical
Matty's sinker has struck again.
He struck again, and Matty is on his he's on his last leg, which I understand totally. We all understand.
Shout out to Matty though, gutting it through like 3 disconnections and sounding like he was in a tin can the whole time. But Zach, I think some of the biggest.
Boomy knows Boomy knows how that goes.
Oh yeah, that was me all of July. Some of the other stinkers, like I said, Broncos, Cowboys, Titans. One of the ones a lot of people expected. And then the other one I had was the Bengals. I mean, obviously the 49ers, we've beaten that horse to death. The Bengals, I said back in early August that this would be, the Bengals wouldn't make the playoffs. I didn't think they'd come out and play the way they did. But like we always say, big opportunity to bounce back in week 2.
Yeah. Joe Burrow, even last year, he had a bad week against the Bears. They'll be all right. I mean, that was an insane game. That was an awesome game to watch. I hope a lot of people watch that game because it was nuts.
That is, we're definitely bound for one of those here with the Bengals. So they got some ground to make up here. Well, before we move into the week 2 pick show, we've got a quick new segment here, and we're going to power rank some PE games, and we've got to rate them 1 through 4. And our 4 games are kickball, flag football, scooter races, and dodgeball. So, Zach, do you have your power rankings of those 4?
So you go flag football. You gotta love that. So much fun. Kickball, dodgeball. I hated scooter races, honestly. I'd run over my fingers. It would just be awful. You have to like be on the floor. It's just that's not my that and like the what's that game where you have to do the like was it crab walk or whatever?
Yeah, that's
And you have
terrible.
to play soccer. We had this thing called everyone has homecoming. We have homecoming games. Like you have a volleyball game, and then it's like freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors all versus each other. You do a bunch of different games. And one of them
Yeah.
was crab soccer. And it was like this big ball, like this big blown up ball, and you had to go like crab style, and you had to go up, run up at it, kick it, and then hopefully it hits the back wall. First one, like if it hits your back wall, their back wall, like there's a goal or whatever. Honestly, this dumbest game I've ever played in my life.
Yeah, that sounds like a leg cramp, just even hearing about it. So I'll go a little different. I'm going dodgeball 1, kickball 2, flag football 3, and scooter races 4. I'm with you. Scooter races stunk. I always felt like I got a leg cramp out of it. I always pinched my finger.
Well, they're just little scooters too. They're not very big, and you're trying to sit on them, and you're trying to use your legs, and then like they say you slip off, and then you're gonna bruise your butt. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, and you're going to get some road rash, and I guess I'm not in on that. But dodgeball was the best. Kickball, easy number 2 for me. I like flag football, but I could take it or leave it. So that's what I'll go with mine. But let's go ahead and get into it. We got the NFL Week 2 pick show. Could not have been a more average first week. We all went 3-3. Couple highlights. Pigoy was the only one to take the
Dallas.
Cowboys on Sunday night. And I was the only one to take the Seahawks on Monday Night Football. So we all ended up 3-3. So we're kind of just starting back at 0 here. So let's go ahead and get into it, Zach. Let's go with our 2 noon picks. I'll take the Panthers plus 2.5. Looked pretty god awful last week. I don't know why. I'm not sold that the Giants are a great football team.
Can I tell you why? Can I tell you why? Because Baker Mayfield's not that good.
I agree. I don't disagree with you in any, but I also don't think that the Giants are that good. I think Tennessee just is on the downslide here.
Boomy.
Yeah.
Did you see Saquon out there, buddy?
I'm not going to overreact to the New York Giants for one game.
But Saquon's healthy.
York
if
Giants.
Saquon is healthy, he's going to run all over the Panthers.
They still have Daniel Jones as their quarterback.
Okay.
I'll take Carolina plus 2.5 there. And I'll also take the Patriots -1. The Patriots are heading to Pittsburgh. I think that Pittsburgh might have got a little lucky there in their win. And the Patriots look terrible. I don't expect a Bill Belichick team to look terrible 2 weeks in a row.
Boomy, I'm not saying you're not wrong, or you're not right, but I think those are 2 bad teams.
Yeah, and it's only a 1-point spread. I think that New England's just going to right the ship.
That's
Bill
fine.
Belichick.
But I just think both those teams are not going to be very good this year.
I agree. I don't think we're seeing either of those teams in the playoffs. That's for sure.
I'd love to see a Patriots team below 500.
It would be fun to watch.
My 2 picks are the Dolphins plus 3.5 going into Baltimore. I think this Dolphins team is very good. Everyone can do the waddle. I think they're going to be very good. They got Tyreek Hill. I'm excited to see what they can do. And I got the Saints plus 2.5 versus the Bucks at home. I think the Bucks got away with one there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That team's not very. That team they played not very good. Not very good at all. I just think that the Saints, they got something going. I think Jameis, say what you want about Jameis. He has some fun out there, and his teams play for him. So Like I said, I have I have Dolphins plus 3.5 at Ravens, and Saints plus 2.5 versus the Bucks. Kind of gave away my 3 o'clock there.
Go
I'm
ahead
gonna
and
go
give
first
your.
then on the 3. I'll give my 3 o'clock. The Raiders minus 5.5 versus the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals stink. I don't. They did not play well the first week. I just don't see what they have in them. And then I also have. I'm gonna take the Bengals minus 8.5 at Dallas. Dallas, they stunk with their starting quarterback. Now that their starting quarterback is hurt, I think the Bengals are going to go in there. They need a big win, and I think they're going to blow out the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm with you on a team that's going to right the ship here in week 2, and I'm taking the Rams minus 10.5 at home versus the Falcons. I think the Falcons are bad. I think that the Saints just kind of let them, play around too long, and the Rams really need to right the ship. I think they're going to win this game by multiple touchdowns. And then I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to take the Cardinals plus 5.5. There is talent in Arizona. They look terrible against Kansas City, but there is talent there, and I think that the Cardinals are going to be able to keep this a close game. If they lose this week, I'm never betting on the Cardinals again, but I don't know why they just are stuck in my brain right now. I will take the Cardinals. Sorry, we skipped Maddie's picks here. Maddie also had the Saints plus 2.5 along with Zach. He's also got the Detroit Lions minus 2.5 at home against the Washington Commanders. A 3-point spread sounds perfect in just about any Detroit game, and it's at home. I like Maddie's pick there. He also has the Raiders, which I disagree with because I have the Cardinals, and then he has the Texans plus 10, coming off of a tie with the Indianapolis Colts. He has them. Where did I just had it right here? And also huge spreads in the afternoon. 8-6 is what one's the lowest one. But he's got the Texans plus 10 at Denver, kind of betting on that Denver team to do exactly what they did on Monday Night Football. I think this one's pretty obvious where we all sit on Sunday Night Football. Give me the Packers minus 10. I'm sure you and Matt, Bears plus 10.
I have 9.5, but that was before this. Let's just say we are doing this on a Tuesday night. So the spreads will change. We will go off of the spreads we have right now. What do you want? Do you want 9.5 or 10?
I'll give you guys 10 and I'll take minus 9.5.
Let's just go 10 all around.
Well, yeah, because it works out more beneficial for you.
Well, 9.5. We can go 9.5, right? I don't care. Whatever. We just need to do all the same.
That's fine. We'll go here 9.5.
9.5. That's fine.
And then, as we talked about,
no. We're not done with this game. I know we're gonna have like I said, don't forget Sunday night, 6:00, TCF Facebook, TCF YouTube. We will have a little bit of a live show. We'll be taking your questions. Hopefully, we'll have some personalities, as we would say, from our community of Bears fans, Packer fans on the show. We'll get more into the game then. But I just think this is an outrageous line. Line to me. A 10,
little disrespectful.
10 is nuts. You know what I mean? The Bears are 1-0. I understand we're going into Lambeau Field. I would take in 7.5. That's respectful enough. But 10? Yeah. What are we doing here? Off of say what you want. The Packers just played an awful game. They scored 7 points?
Yeah.
So, and I know you don't know what the Bears are. They played in a crazy rain, but 10, that's wild.
I'll tease it here and say the only chance I think the Bears have is if a monsoon rolls into Green Bay. So I'll leave it at that.
I've heard rain. I've heard about rain.
Yeah, well, knowing Green Bay, Wisconsin, it might be a snow here in the middle of August, or middle of September. So who knows? Monday Night Football, we have 2 Monday night games in week 2, which is very strange, if you ask me. The 2 games that we have on Monday night, we have the Tennessee Titans going to the Buffalo Bills.
Maddie has Bears, right?
Yeah, of course. That was a dumb
that's
question.
because the Bears are going to money line win this game.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. But we have, like I said, the Titans going to the Bills, Bills -10, and then we also have the Vikings going to the Eagles, Eagles -2.5. I will take the Vikings +2.5. I think
the Vikings are going to win this division.
They're not going to, but that's all right. They'll start off 2-0. But
they're all, you know what? Unfortunately for you, they're off to a very good start.
Justin Jefferson looks like he might be the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Did you see what Aaron Rodgers told him that he's the best player in the league right now?
Yeah, I mean, and he had Jair Alexander on him, who is a good defensive back. I mean, this guy's a Pro Bowl defensive back, and he made him look like nothing. He was just carving him up. So, unless teams can find a way to contain Justin Jefferson, first of all, good luck. Second of all, I think that Vikings +2.5 in Philly. Matt has the Bills -10. Matty is out on the Titans. He was right last week.
Me too. I had the same thing. I have Bills -10. I think that's an outrageous line, first of all. But I do think the Bills are going to win by maybe hopefully 2 touchdowns. But the only thing is I don't think that like the Tennessee Titans are looking at the spread, but they had to feel disrespected by this.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I mean, they came out and didn't play very well against, a bad, or I guess a climbing, New York Giants team, but like still they're still the Tennessee Titans. So yeah, you gotta be a little peeved off if you're the Titans on that line. So we will get the full graphic out here near the end of the week. So let's move into our final segment. We have the TCF top 3, and in the theme of the NFL season, of course, we have the top 3 NFL helmets. Zach, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. I love the Dolphins helmet. I think that is so cool looking and it's so sleek.
What do you say to the haters that say those are candy ass colors?
The haters can suck it. First of all, look at my sweatshirt. Look at this thing. Like, what do you mean candy ass? Give me a break.
Because teal and orange are not, the most like tough colors.
I think those are beautiful. You know what? I'm not looking for tough colors. I'm looking for colors that I think are nice looking. I think that combination of the white and then all that together with like the teal, what did you say, teal?
Yeah, teal and orange.
The haters can suck it.
Fair enough. I'm not going to disagree with you there. I'm going to go with my number 1, and that's the the Los Angeles Rams. I've obviously grew up in a household with Rams fans, but I love the curly Q helmet. I think it's one of the best. I think it's underrated, and people like to poo-poo all over it. For my second round pick, I hate to do this, but I like the Vikings helmets. I went to a high school with purple. So did you. The purple and yellow, they look cool, man. They look like, the Viking actual helmet, but I'll take that for my second round pick.
My second pick is the Raiders. I think that is just about what?
They're boring.
I think it's awesome looking. And then I'm going to go with, I think the Bills have very cool helmets too.
Especially since they went, I believe like 15 years ago, they went to the white helmet with the white face mask. That is a good look. I do like that one. It's just a classic. My last pick, I'm going to go with the Chargers. I love the lightning bolt. And like some of the different variations they've had. I like that they went to the white helmet now instead of the navy blue, but those were good too back in the Junior Seau, the Danian Tomlinson days. So I like that one as well. What do you think? Do you like the Bengals helmet?
I do. It was on my list.
Yeah, that was one I was.
Steelers is on my list.
Put it on both sides of your helmet. I hate that they only have the logo on one side. I don't know why it bothers me.
And they have Bears. I like the Bears, but it's all right.
Yeah, I feel like there's just like the Bears are just missing one thing. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. Like, I don't know if it's something down the middle or what, but like they're not bad helmets. I just feel like they're missing one piece. I don't know. Let us know what we missed here on the top 3 of NFL helmets. But thank you for joining us for episode 146. You guys know where to find us. We are on Twitter at typical_Chicago, Facebook and Instagram. You can give those pages a like. All of our content in video form is on YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube page and like the Facebook page for the live show we will be doing Sunday night for Bears Packers. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts. Make sure wherever you listen to podcasts and tell a friend. All right. It's the beginning of football season, a lot of football content here. Make sure you tell a friend to check us out. You can find me on Twitter at BoomyTCF, Zach over at ZLilia TCF. And of course, we lost Maddie, but you can still follow him on Twitter at schools_01. We appreciate you all joining in. That has been episode 146 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.